I've had this Ewin racing chair for just shy of 4 years now. I've always wanted to make an update video to showcase how the chair has held up over the years, especially since I did end up recommending it to you guys. So when Ewin reached out to me recently, I knew it was finally the right time. Years ago when I started this channel, I really liked the whole YouTuber aesthetic of having a gaming chair. And at the time, I ended up buying a DX Racer with my own money. But Ewin Racing reached out to me not too long after that, and confidently offered for me to try one of their chairs. So I was intrigued about comparing the two of them to see which one I liked better. You can check out that original video here. I walked away really liking the Ewin racing chair more, not out of obligation for them sponsoring me and sending it to me for free, but simply because the chair was just way better quality, had a more comfortable and thicker seat cushioning, and an all-around better feel. I was stoked about the upgrade, and if you've watched my content on the channel, you'll know it's been my daily driver ever since. I actually ended up giving my DX Racer to my younger brother, and unfortunately, it's not looking the best these days. Especially when compared to the Ewin racing chair. But how exactly has the Ewin racing chair held up in the past 4 years? Let's get into it. Well, as you can tell, it still looks great. This chair is an Ewin Racing Flash XL series in blue. You can still buy the same exact one on their website. These chairs aren't cheap. These aren't your typical $100 cheapo office chair. I said it last time and I'll say it again. These chairs are an investment in yourself. But man, what a worthy one. This chair is heavy duty, holding up to 550 pounds, and it's one of the biggest and best that Ewin has to offer. I needed a bigger chair as I'm a bigger guy, and I'm also pretty tall at 6'3", so this one was the pick for me. In terms of its features, it's got 4D armrests capable of moving up and down as well as forward and backward, and they're also able to be angled diagonally in and out as well. So there's a lot of movement and customizability here to get it just how you like it. Aside from some really minor wear and tear here and there, the chair has held up incredibly well after 4 years of heavy use. You can even still see the glittering polyurethane leather here in the light, and it still looks amazing. Not even covered in micro scratches or anything else that you might expect to happen to it over time, which is quite impressive to me. It really largely still looks nearly as good as the day I got it, so I'm glad that I recommended it back in the day. It's done really well. I'd say the most noticeable difference from how it originally looked to how it looks now is that the chair cushion has definitely flattened a bit over time. But I'm a big guy and I sit in this chair for hours every single day while I work and game, so honestly, it's to be expected. Even the lumbar support cushion is still in pretty remarkable shape after being crushed by me for so long. And I will say that I've experienced fewer back issues using this chair than any other. I still have some posture issues, as sometimes I'll find myself leaning forward and not using the chair or the lumbar cushion fully for support, but this is a personal issue and it's not the chair's fault. I just need to be more mindful of how I'm sitting for long periods of time. I did have an instance where one of the chair arms broke and wasn't able to function properly anymore, but that was around the time that my parents were selling their house, and we had a lot of open houses and random people coming in and out to see the place without us being there, so I'm convinced that that's how it got broken. Maybe someone's kids wandered off and were excited by the chair, jumped on it, and were a little rough with it, because all of a sudden, one day I realized it just wasn't working anymore, and I had no clue how it got that way. I reached out to Ewin's help email to see about getting a replacement arm, and they promptly sent one out, and it was pretty smooth to swap it in. I'm not sure of their exact policy in this regard, and if I got special treatment, or how much this might end up setting you back if it happened to you, but so far that's been the only thing that I've experienced with the chair, and honestly I don't even think it was my fault. I have no idea what someone did to it. Regardless, I'm glad they have ways to go about getting replacement parts just in case. Aside from that one weird edge case scenario though, this chair has treated me very well over the past 4 years, and I'm excited to see how it continues to stand the test of time. I like it so much even that I wanted to get another one. I went with gray this time, like how I painted my studio room, as I wanted the contrast of the black and gray to my skin tone and the color of whatever shirt I'd be wearing while making videos. Pants optional. I love the blue, but this gives me some color variety and allows me to stand out a bit more from the chair in some scenarios. If you'd like to see a time-lapse of me building an Ewin chair, check out the original video linked in the description below, or by clicking the little eye icon in the top right on YouTube. In terms of my cons with the chair over the past 4 years, I don't really have any major gripes at all. I've been very, very happy with it. However, you're watching this video and maybe even potentially considering getting one, so I'm sure you'd be interested to hear my more specific, smaller nitpicks after 4 years of use. One thing I'll say is that I do wish the armrests were a little harder to move diagonally, or if they could be locked and require another button to adjust them in the way that the other movements do. I think that would be an improvement. Though too many buttons on things can make it even more confusing, so I can understand why they took the approach that they did. However, I find myself occasionally knocking the armrests into their diagonal alignments accidentally. It happens way more on one side than the other, so I also don't know if this is because one arm is a replacement, or if I've just put more of my weight on that one side and worn it out a bit more over time. It's a really minor inconvenience, but like I said, there's a nitpick. My other nitpick is that because of my height, once again I'm 6'3", the standard pillow placement still isn't perfect for me. But it hasn't been on any other chairs of this kind that I've experienced, and folks shorter than me should have no problem at all with their correctly sized chair. There's also a workaround where you can just put the pillow higher up on the chair and wrap it around the top part. I'm just a little too tall, even for the biggest chair in the lineup. Overall though, I am super impressed with this chair, and honestly even more so than when I made that original video, considering just how well it's actually stood up over the past 4 years. So if you are in the market and considering which brand to get a gaming chair or upgrade your chair to, I would absolutely recommend going with Ewin Racing. These chairs are solid, and they're still looking great 4 years later. So if you're interested, be sure to use code CRIT for a whopping 20% off. That's more than even some of their recent deals. And also use our affiliate link in the description box down below at no additional charge to you. That way, if you do go on to make a purchase, it will help out the channel and they'll know that we sent you, and I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you love the chair if you do end up snagging your own. Be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, how any of your computer chairs have held up, or if it's finally time to trade in that old crappy office chair that's been hurting your back, and let me know what you decide to go with. And I'll see you all next time.